Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great Thursday. Sorry I can't be here with you today, but we've got some pretty cool stuff that our guest teacher is going to do with you anyway. So just a few reminders whenever you're in this room. Please keep your mask on. Please remember to be safe, respectful, and responsible. And our guest teacher does have a copy of the expectations that you and I did together a couple weeks ago in case she needs to refer to those. Otherwise, I'm counting on everybody to have a really good sub-report. We are going to postpone some of the projects we've been working on in class. If by chance you have time at the end of the class after the project that our guest teacher is going to begin with you today, she might be willing to let you continue working on what you and I had started together last week. Otherwise, you and I will keep working on that project when I'm back next week. So let's see what we're doing today. I think today is a pretty cool project, and all we're really going to need is one of these bins of crayons for each table, and those come from that cart over by sink number 1. We're each going to need our own white square of paper and our own placemat paper. Now, I'm not going to tell you what your project is until about halfway through this video, but it's a project my grandpa actually used to do with me when I was a kid. Fun fact, my grandpa used to be an art teacher, so I'm now borrowing his art projects to do with you today. So let's get this thing started. The first thing we're going to do is write our name on our paper, and then we're going to flip it over and work on the back. We're using crayons today, and we need to be sure that we are using light colored crayons. So yellow, orange, red, these little peach colors, or even maybe one of these light greens. We are going to be using crayons and pressing quite hard, so you're probably going to want to peel off some of that paper. Now your job is to fill this whole square up with crayon. That placemat paper is underneath to make sure that you don't end up with crayon on the table. And you need to press hard enough with your crayon that we don't see any white paper showing through. Trust me, you have to do this. I'm still working, but I'm going to stop right here and show you what not to do. So this spot right here still has a bunch of white paper showing through. Hold it up so you can see it. That crayon needs to go on a lot thicker. We don't want to see any white space, and in fact your crayon should almost look like it was put on just like a marker would, without being able to see through any of it. So if you notice, as I'm coloring here on this piece, my whole arm is moving. My whole arm is moving, but I'm not out of control with my crayon, my coloring or my crayon. My arm moves, but I'm not going everywhere. It's not a free-for-all, make a mess, rip your paper type thing. It's just kind of filling your paper with that waxy crayon, just like this. Because we're pressing so hard, there's a good chance today that some crayons might be broken, and that's okay. As long as you're not breaking them intentionally, it happens. But if you look at how my fingers are holding this crayon, I've got my fingers right down at the end. That way all of the pressure is right on the end of the crayon and not way up here on the middle. By having my fingers down at the end, I can ensure that my crayon probably isn't going to break, even though I'm pressing pretty hard with it. Once you've got that thing all the way colored in, use a paper towel or a tissue to kind of wipe off some of those extra pieces of crayon that's probably ended up sticking to your project. And you want to turn it and make sure that when you can see a light reflected on the top of it, we can't see any paper showing through. We should be looking at that nice waxy surface up there, and that looks good. So, crayons can go back in the bin. I'm done with my crayons. Any papers can go in the trash. I'm done with my papers. I'm going to leave my placemat paper, and I'm going to leave my paper towel for now as well. Before you begin this next step, you will need an apron or a paint shirt. We're going to use a little bit of black tempera paint, and you can use any paintbrush you want. I would recommend a larger one, and actually a flat paintbrush would be a little bit better to put your paint on, because believe it or not, we are now going to paint the entire top of this thing black. As I brush on my paint, I want you to listen to something. Your paint needs to go on nice and smooth and nice and thin, and then if you're watching how I'm brushing this on, I'm brushing it all left to right. You do not want thick paint on this project because the next and last step will not work for you if your paint goes on too thick. At some point, you're probably going to realize that it's going to be hard to hold this, but by the time you get to the bottom, some of the paint on top of your paper should be dry enough that you can put a couple fingers up there. I'm going to leave my painted black piece sitting at my table for now, and I'm going to go wash out my brush and dry it in the sink. If I'm the last person to paint at my table, I can also put my paint tray in the trash can. Paper towel was there just in case you made a mess, so trash it if you don't need it anymore. I say it in class pretty much every single day, multiple times. I don't know that everybody hears it. To take care of your brush, you're not just washing it, but you also have to dry it. Temper paint will eventually ruin these paintbrushes, and putting them away wet every single day will also eventually ruin these paintbrushes. So go ahead and give them a nice dry like that, then put them back in the container with the bristles facing up. We need this paint to dry all the way. So it has to go on the drying rack. The squares will not fit in the drying rack, so you are going to put your square and your placemat paper in the drying rack like this. Oh yeah. Okay, here's what we're actually making. This whole thing is your very own, completely homemade scratch board. Now that paint's drying, and when I see you in class next week, we're going to use one of these wooden tools that have a slight rounded point on it, and we're actually going to scratch some of that temper paint off, just like this. The reason you put that crayon on nice and thick is because the wax in that crayon will actually help to make sure that the paint, the black temper paint that is, doesn't stick to it. And that allows us to scrape that black temper paint off and reveal the color underneath.